Hi everyone, welcome back to the Maz channel. It's Monday night and it's spooky baking. So we're going to be making some Halloween cookies tonight. They're just basic cookies, and then the fun bit is going to be decorating them. So here we've got the ingredients. We've got some butter, we've got some silver spoon caster sugar, we've got some we've got some plain flour. So they're the main ingredients for the cookies, and then we've also got some ready to roll icing for decorating, and we've got some normal icing sugar. Part of them are going to be decorated with roll icing, and then the others are going to be kind of piped white icing. So let's get going. So this is the recipe. I shall put the ingredients down below. Right, let's get cooking. Right, okay, so it's so dark I can't read the damn recipe. So 225 grams of butter first of all then, and 110 grams of caster sugar. So we're just going to weigh out the butter. Okay, so that's about 225 grams. I'm just going to put that in the mixing bowl. At least it's been left out of the fridge, so it needs to be soft. Then we want 110 grams of caster sugar. So I've actually bought some little Halloween cookie cutters for this. So we've got some cats, we've got crosses, we've got skeletons, ghosts, everything Halloween. So the butter's quite soft already, so all we've got to do is cream this butter and sugar together, and you do that by using like the back of the spoon. Just kind of get it into a paste. You can use a food mixer for this as well, it says. So it just depends what you prefer to do, but as it's quite soft, I'm just going to do it by hand, I think. Until it's like a fluffy texture. Okay, so I think that's about right. So the consistency should look something like this, if you can see it. In my spooky kitchen. Right, and then we need to sieve in 275 grams of plain flour. So I'm just going to weigh that out. Okay, so we've got our sieve, and we're just going to sieve the flour in gradually now, and then just kind of mix it in. This would be a great thing to do with the kids, you know, on lockdown, and when they can't go out trick-or-treating. Just good fun to decorate them. And then when it gets to like a certain consistency, it starts getting stiffer and going into lumps, that's when you start to try to get it together with your hands into like a ball of dough. So you can see we're getting this kind of consistency now. So these are just plain cookies. You can add chocolate chips to these as well at this stage, and I assume a bit of cocoa powder as well if you wanted. I am going to add just a little teaspoon of this vanilla essence. Okay, so now it's like quite a crumbly texture, as you can see, so I've got to now knead it. I'm going to take my rings off. I've got to now knead it into a dough. Okay, so I think we're there. So we've got this ball of cookie dough now. Okay, so now we've got our ball of dough, and I'm now going to roll it out, and then we can use our Halloween cookie cutters to cut out Halloween biscuits. I'm just going to put a little bit of flour onto the work surface, so that the dough doesn't stick to it. Okay, so I've got my rolling pin. I'm just going to like knead it a bit. That's it. And then I'm going to roll out a flat sheet of cookie dough. It's very cracky. So these are the cookie cutters that I've got here. So I've got a gingerbread man, which I thought we could make into a skeleton with like piping, with a piping bag, and make bones. And then this set here are all the Halloween cookies. So I've got a cat, another cat, pumpkin, cat's head, a bat, a cross, a ghost and a gravestone. But they are really tiny, these, so they are going to burn easily in the oven, especially that one. It's really small. They were from eBay, by the way. They were about £5. So yeah, there's our dough, and we're gonna just start to cut out a few shapes. So I think we'll have a gingerbread man first. I'm gonna make sure I just do one of each, and then with the leftover dough we can have replicas. Try and do it as near to the edge as I can. Have a ghost. Okay, I've got a big baking tray here. Apparently there's no need to grease it, so I'm just going to lay out these cookies. That one's broken actually, so I think we'll scrap that one. Just going to lay these cookies out in the tray. Just going to get this knife to like pick them up with. I'm actually going to lay them quite far away from each other, because the last time I made gingerbread, guys, gingerbread men, I don't know if this happens to you, but they all expanded to a ridiculous extent and joined together and didn't look remotely like gingerbread men by the end. So I hope that doesn't happen with these. Okay, so that's our first tray. As you can see, I've left the spaces in between. Just going to roll up this and cut some more. Okay, so while I roll out the rest of the dough, I'm just going to put the oven on. It needs to be on 170 fan oven, and they take about 10 to 12 minutes to cook. Okay, so the cookies are ready to go into the oven now, so we're just going to put them in for about 12 minutes. So they are out of the oven. The top shelf ones are slightly overdone, but they're not too bad. So I'm just going to put them, there's another tray over there, so I'm just going to put them all onto these cooling racks just to cool down. Okay, so they are out, they're cooling on the tray, but I think that's enough spooky baking for one night, and I'm going to decorate these tomorrow morning. Right, it's the next day now, so we've got all of the biscuits, they're all in this tin. So what I'm going to do is decorate most of them with this ready to roll fondant icing. There's not going to be much skill involved in this. I'm just basically going to use the cutters to like cut the exact shapes out again in the icing, and then I figure I'll have the exact shape to place over the biscuits. So first I'm just going to roll out these coloured icing blocks. I'll use the black for the bats, and the yellow for the pumpkin. I wish I had orange, and obviously the green for the pumpkin stalks. And then for the ghost biscuits, I'm going to just use some ordinary mixed white icing, and I'm also going to use white icing to stick the fondant icing onto the biscuits, otherwise they're not going to stick. So hopefully that will work. I'm a bit low on this actually, I wish I'd bought more. And I'm just going to be using this traditional piping set to like put the eyes onto things and to like pipe the bones onto the skeletons and also pipe the blobs onto the biscuits so that I can use the icing as glue. So that will be handy. Just going to cut these packets open. So we're going to start with the bats first. Now, how many bat biscuits have we got? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a rolling pin again. Just kind of roll this out. At least this is easy, so it's something you can do with the kids. It's not going to take masses of skill. And they can just sit over the biscuits like that. That's quite effective. But obviously I will be applying some icing as like glue. I don't think that's not going to stick on its own. So just get a cat head out of this one. I'm going to set them all aside and then do the gluing separately. Now we're going to have some yellow for the pumpkins. And what I'm going to do for these cats is I'm going to cut out some eyes, so I'll probably give them green and white eyes. Probably should have rolled the light colours first before the black, so that the black doesn't stay in the yellow. Pumpkin. And I'll be able to pipe a face onto that as well. Now for the green, I'm just going to like mould a little stalk for the pumpkin. And then the cat's eyes are going to need to be kind of almond shaped, I guess. Okay, so as you can see, I've just decorated a few more of the cookies. I've got some cats in there. I've just basically cut those eyes out with a knife and used my fingers to shape them. I've got the pumpkins done, the gravestones and the bats. So I'm just going to now stick the icing to the biscuits. So I've got a bowl here, some icing sugar and a jug of water, and I'm just going to gradually mix some up. It's a nightmare. It thickens really quickly and it thins really quickly too, and it is just so hard to get it right. Okay, so that will have to do, guys. I still don't think it's quite thick enough, but anyway. So I'm just going to put on, I'd say this nozzle here, and I'm going to put my finger over the bottom and load it up. Hopefully just a couple of blobs will do. And it will stick when it dries, hopefully. Okay, so I've now stuck the rest of the cookies down, and we're just going to decorate these ghost biscuits by putting icing all over them, although they are very runny, so this is not really working very well. And then we'll let them dry and then we'll put some eyes on them. I hope they're salvageable. I'm not even going to risk trying to ice these cats' faces because you can imagine what kind of a mess we're going to have. So I'm going to just get some more coloured icing and make the mouth and nose from that. And then I'm just going to put some little knife marks in these pumpkins just to add a bit of dimension to them. Like that. May even be able to just write RIP with a knife or something in these gravestones. Oh yeah, these are a state. That's such a pity. We take a little bit of red and make the cat's nose, and then what we'll do is just imprint the cat's mouth features into the biscuit. There we go. So I've just put him a little nose on like that, and then we'll just draw a line downwards and then across and across like that, and the same with the other one. There we go. So that's one of each biscuit style done, except for the skeleton, unfortunately. So we'll get these on a plate, we'll let the ghost dry, and then we'll put the eyes on them. Just going to put the little eyes and face on the ghost now. A little tip, I got it from Mitch Turner, I think it was, the lady that does all the fantastic cakes, not that makes messes like this. And she always said, she always says, when you do an eye for a character, don't do a dead circle, do like an oval, so otherwise it looks too fixing and staring. So just kind of that sort of shape for an eye. So we're going to just put that on. This is where I could do with some tweezers or something. Okay, so there's the ghost with his eyes on. Just going to give him a mouth. Like so. And do the same for all the others. Okay, so there we have our ghosts. So here's the finished result, the finished cookies. We've got the ghosts, we've got the bat, the gravestones, pumpkins. I hope this has given you some inspiration of something to do on Halloween this year. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and keep your eye out for my other Halloween videos and my ordinary videos too. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.